Last year, we bought this 20-acre piece of raw land in the inland northwest to explore a different way of living. Since then, we have been discovering more about our new land, working to make it livable and navigable while preserving its natural beauty, learning by doing, and creating a space that reflects our values and how we want to live.
This is the final product. We're pretty happy with it. We've learned a lot, and all the tips and tricks are at the end of this video. So, hope you enjoy.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another hideaway video. Today's project that we're working on is our shed. We built this shed like 6 to 8 months ago, and we have just done sort of like a stain sealer on it so far. We've been talking about what we want to do on the inside and the outside, and we are going to try to do a sort of micro cement kind of thing. We haven't seen a lot of videos online about exactly how to do it. There's a couple, but they're not really doing the exact thing that we want. There is a micro cement product that they sell, but it's like over $100 for this tiny little setup. So we mostly are going off of what ChatGPT recommends. And so we just got some of this sand mix concrete from Home Depot. We got 2 of these bags. They're 80 pounds each, so that should be plenty. We also got some concrete bonding adhesive, and we got some like trowels and gloves and stuff to apply it. So this is plywood on the outside here. So what we're basically going to be doing is trying to like smear a small layer of concrete onto it. What we're going to do is we are going to mix the concrete in a bucket. Peanut butter or frosting consistency is what we're looking for. You don't want it super thick like you would for pouring concrete, but you don't want it too thin to where it's going to be running off the walls because it needs to apply vertically. So on the outside here we have a stained plywood, and the entire inside is pretty much 2x4s and OSB board. So we're going to try to do the inside and the outside the same. We'll see how it goes. We don't know how it's going to go at all. Oh, and for those of you who have already been following us, we did have a video of building this shed like 6 or 8 months ago, and we've since done some improvements. As you saw, we built a bunch of shelves in this little room here on both sides. We also have these shelves that we built when we first built the shed. And then we just built these little corner shelves right here. We also built a little stool to sit on to put our boots on. I actually completely redid the roof about a week or 2 ago, over the last 2 weeks, because we did not build it correctly the first time and some wasps moved into it. So we took the whole thing apart and built it back way better. And our door originally was too thick, so we actually took off the inside piece of OSB board, and now we actually have a doorknob, and it closes really nicely. It locks and everything. Up in the corners here was originally just open, and so we built the perfect pieces of wood to fit right there. We spray foamed everything all over the place, so if there's no cracks that any bugs can get into. And we also got pool noodles for like $1 each and put them all the way around, and we're gonna try to cement right over those up to the school bus. But first we need to get some water, so we're gonna go down to the creek because we do not yet have any running water on our property. All right, we got 16 gallons of water from the creek. We are going to start with this wall right here, since you don't see it as much as any of the other walls. It's kind of in the back here. So let's get started. So Rachel is misting the wall with water first because it says to on this bonding adhesive. And then I'm going to be pouring this into here and applying one layer with a paint roller. Okay, and this should sit for 10 to 30 minutes, according to ChatGPT, our Lord and Savior. Got a new drill stirrer at Ace Hardware on the sale rack. $3.99. Let's go. Mix the concrete with this. Should do just fine. I like that.
I do too.
Rachel's doing the application because when we were doing our bus, she applied all the mortar and the grout when we were doing our shower. So she's already sort of got the feel for how to put it on the walls. So I'm sort of being her assistant with this project so far. We're getting low. We were only trying to do that half of the wall. I'm scooping this with a little garden shovel thing. It's working pretty well though. Would recommend to buy, I don't know what they're called, but it's sort of like a trowel, but it's a big square metal thing that has a handle at the bottom. So I've seen people like hold it underneath where they're going to go so that it catches all the stuff that's falling as you sort of move up. I should have got one of those, but it wasn't on my list. We're gonna use these little mudding knives to do the smaller stuff, the bottom and the 2x4s at the top. Well, that was completely exhausting and more difficult than we thought it would be, as most projects are. Now our chickens wanna see what we're doing over here. So we got this half of the wall done. Hit a bit of a rhythm there. This is what it looks like end of day one. We were going to try to do a second layer, at least on this side, because we don't know how it's going to blend. This side looks a lot better. We sort of got the rhythm going and got a routine, and I think it looks pretty good. It's not going to be as smooth as we were planning on. We were trying to make it smooth, but it seemed very difficult. It seemed like we were just wiping away the cement. So we're gonna leave it for now. If we need to come back and touch it up, we will figure out how to do that. Otherwise, we need to move on to that third side and the inside and finish up the eaves. We used 3/4 of our sand mix. We thought we had enough. We for sure don't have enough. So we're gonna go into town tomorrow. We're gonna get more sand mix. We're gonna get more of this bonding adhesive. So we'll see you in a couple days. All right, 2 days has passed. Yesterday, we had to go to town to get some more supplies, but check it out. It's looking pretty good. This wall we think looks awesome. This wall, the first half, we think we mixed it a little bit too thin and applied it a little bit too thin. So today we're going to start by taking care of this wall to make it look flush with this side. So we're going to apply another layer. We're going to do another layer of adhesive bonding material and then another little layer of the cement. We got 8 bags of 80 pounds each of the sand mix cementitious materials. So should be more than enough this time. I don't know why we thought 2 bags was enough, but whatever. We got more of the adhesive material as well. We got 2 more bottles of that. And so we're going to try to do that half again, along with this entire side. We'll see what we get to today, but we'll be working all week on finishing the exterior and then starting the interior. Gonna start a time lapse for you and we'll see how much we can get to.
just finished for the day. So we put a second layer on this side, nice and thin. We're hoping it blends better with the right side. Previously the texture was all weird because we tried using a sponge, but now it should have the same texture as the other walls. This wall I'm totally obsessed with. We did this the other day and I just love the texture and everything about it. So I'm trying to do the same thing here on this wall. Max and I completed this today, so we did the outside of the door area around it. We still have the details and the top of the bust to finish, but we're really excited. We think the texture looks great and can't wait to see it dry tomorrow. All right, well today is day 3. Look at this wall that we completed yesterday. We really love it. Think the texture looks amazing. The rest of today we're just going to cement all the eaves here, all the exposed wood that's remaining over the bus and on the top.
Day 3 complete. We did all of these little intricate spots all in the eaves and up in that corner down the side. So this side is totally done. And then we just completely finished this entire front as well. So every one of these 2x4s along with the front 2x4 completely covered in cement. Also, I just was editing the beginning of this video today and noticed that I said concrete a lot and it's actually cementitious material. I still don't totally know the difference between cement and concrete. So if you know, then educate me in the comments. And next time we come back to this project, we will be doing this side all the way up, this whole corner up here, and then we'll be good to move to the inside. Also just got my birthday gift in the mail from my mother-in-law. Shout out Deb. I'll read that card later, but this pertains to the Hideaway here. She does custom logos for her job, so we had her make us a couple of cool Carhartt hats with the Hideaway logo. Shout out A&G Sales. I think it might be time to retire this Carhartt hat and move to this one. Day 4 of the shed cement process. We've been working for a couple hours on just finishing this last side over here. How's it going up there?
Going good.
I was just doing this 2x4 section here and it was raining cement on me from above. So I thought I'd give a little update. We haven't been filming the process today or yesterday because we've been hard at work, but we're almost done with the exterior and then we're gonna move to the interior next. We are back. That last clip was taken on June 27th. It is now July 18th. It's been almost a month. We've been doing a bunch of different stuff, but we're ready to get back to it. So today we are going to start the interior of the shed. This is tough. It is so hot in here, I'm dripping sweat, and this is really frustrating to spread this with this small of a knife into these intricate areas. Talk me through your technique.
I like to pat it down to make it a little bit more moist. And then I scoop a little bit. I put my trowel underneath to catch it because it's going to fall. But I just push it up against the wood and it sticks and some of it falls. And then I keep applying it from there.
Day 1 of interior cement work complete. We got all of these shelves done. Took about 3 hours or so. We also had some extra, so we did part of the door again. But yeah, we did this entire front part here and then the inside of each of those. I think it looks pretty good. Should get up to some more of that this weekend. So see you then. And we're back at it for another day of cement. Here's how it looks, the shelves that we completed. We think it looks really cool. Today's task is to do the other side and see if we want to do any more than that. We'll probably just do these shelves. Let's get to it. These sides are very awkward to work with, but almost done with them, and then we're gonna do the bottoms here. To get this inside portion, I have to sort of do this and then try to spread it like that. Not recommended doing intricate places like this. I don't think we'll do it again after this project. I am back working on the shed. It's been like 3 weeks since we last filmed. Rachel is out of town for the next 24 hours, so I'm gonna see if I can finish everything in the shed so we can finally be over this project. We did make a bit of progress since we last filmed, so here's what we've done so far. Did this whole back wall, halfway done with these, all up in there. I need to finish these, do the floor, do this stuff over here. I'm gonna see if I can get it done because we're over this project. All right, y'all, we are done with the shed cement project. Overall, we really like it. We learned a lot during this project. There's some things that we think look really good, some things we definitely learned, and here's some tips and tricks coming your way.
Check them out. Tip number 1 is that we recommend that you finish a full wall at one time. This way all the color matches and the texture is really good. Let me show you where we messed up. So this is the side that we started on, and what we did is we cemented half of the wall first and let it dry before we did the second half. Because of that, it created like this weird seam in the middle. Another thing we did is we took a sponge to see if we could smooth out the texture, and that didn't work at all, so I do not recommend you do that. So later we were like, we want the left side to match the right side, so we redid the left side, and I think it looks super amazing, but you can still kind of see, come closer, you can still kind of see this crease in the middle. So when you work on a wall, you should do it all at one time, bottom to the top. That's what I would recommend. Even on my favorite wall, we were like, oh, we should touch up these little spots. So we touched up right here and one on that side. And it's not very noticeable, but if you look closely, it is a little bit darker and it stayed more wet. It's super weird because when the cement dries, it looks dark like at first and it dries over time. So sometimes you think, oh, it's gonna match, but then when it's done drying, sometimes it doesn't match. So keep that in mind.
Like Rachel said, we love the way...
Miso!
No.
Drop it!
No. She just threw it.
Yeah.
Like Rachel said, we love the way that these full walls turned out. However, at the top here, we were using a much smaller tool for it, and it seems like it went on a little bit thicker, which makes it look wetter in the long run, so the colors don't match, even though we did these the same day. So that's something we learned, and we don't really know a workaround. And it's the same for up there. You can see it looks different, both in the texture because we were using this small little knife, and it was a different thickness, so it made it look like a different color. Another thing about doing a full wall versus smaller sections is something like this happens. So this stuff is very loose, and you can see it's been falling off. You can see it a lot in the front door right here. So this stuff, it's really loose, and it's just been sort of, you can see it just comes off. And so as we've been closing the door, it's just been falling off. So we think this is a great application for doing an entire wall at once, not for doing like 2x4s like this, or up in the rafters, or even in the shelves, mostly because it was really difficult to get into the shelves, as you saw.
So like we keep saying, when we do a full wall at one time with the same tool, it looks really good. Like we're very happy with this accent wall. Anything you use the big trowel for, that works really well. We also like the floor. You know, maybe over time it won't last as long, but everything's completely sealed, which is our purpose with doing this micro cement because of our bee problem, which is no longer here, thank goodness. But the micro cement is really, really cool. I would recommend it on an accent wall. But for a shed, it was just our experiment, so hope you're learning from our mistakes. Here on the shelves, you can see the micro cement is coming off just a little bit, but I think it works really well on these big, deep shelves. Where I wouldn't recommend it is on the sides because it was really hard to spread. You got to see Max try and spread it on that small tool. Not recommended, but on any big space, whether it's flat on the floor or vertical on the wall, I would recommend it. And another thing I probably would not recommend is putting the micro cement on like vertical small spaces like this, because as Max just mentioned, it will fall off over time. So be mindful of that. You may have noticed that the back wall wasn't fully completed, but that's a secret for now. You have to keep watching our videos to find out why we didn't complete that back wall, because you're gonna start to see quite a bit of change these next couple months, so stay tuned. We got some big projects coming your way.
So make sure you subscribe to stay tuned, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.